Oh my God, you guys. Um, First of all, thank you for still being with me here on this journey. As you know, I left Tuesday morning. Today is Thursday at 11:30 at night. Um, but I wasn't planning on leaving until late August, early September, or mid-September even. Um, and I was planning on taking this extended 3 month sabbatical, and I like to do that like every 3 to 5 years because it just clears the soul. It clears the mind and cleanses the soul. So anyway, the reason that I left Tuesday morning instead of early September is because I went down to the DMV in Ohio, in Bowling Green, about 10 days before my temporary tag on the van expired. So I went down there. I had 45 days. I went down there after 35 days and wanted to get my permanent plates. They told me, which is a lot of BS, but they told me that um, they don't give you the permanent plate until the day that the temporary tag expires. And I told her, are you serious right now? You're out of your mind. The temporary tag is a consideration. Um, you know, it allows you up to 30 or 45 days, depending on what state you're in. And you do not wait until it expires before you go get your permanent plate. Um, they give you that time to, because you got 7 days to return a vehicle if it's no good, right? So, and some people, they got the money to put down on a car or to make their first payment or to pay their taxes, titles, and insurance or whatever. And, temporary registration fees and stuff like that, but may not have the extra money to get their permanent plates. So they give you that 45-day leeway in order to get it done. You don't have to wait until the day they expire. But anyway, I knew she was full of it. And I called her on it. And then she said some other ridiculous thing that uh, is how long it's been since I've lived in Ohio. They still had me under my maiden name. I've been married 3 times. I've been my current last name for the past, oh God, 18, 19 years. And, no, sorry, hold on. 18, 16 years. I've had my current last name. And prior to that, I was hyphenated, my maiden and my married name. I obviously don't want to give all that information on a public video, but I had my last name with my second husband was hyphenated, my maiden name and his name. And my first husband, um, he was my hero. But anyhow, let me just, I don't want to get off track. So anyhow, yeah, they told me that they still had me under my maiden name and that, I needed to prove to them, that I went from my maiden name to my current name legally. And I said, well, I don't have my certificate or license, but I have my other papers. And they said, okay. I said, but that's the one thing I didn't bring with me, so I'll have to come back on Friday. So I leave, and I go back on Friday, and so I leave, go back on Friday, and they told me that, so I brought all my other papers, right? And they told me that those papers didn't prove that I went from my maiden name to my married name legally. Those papers only show that I used that name. And I said, well, that's bullshit, because it doesn't matter what name I give you or what name you have in your system. What matters is what name comes up under my social security number. And he said, well, that's federal. And I said, exactly. And he goes, this is state. And I said, well, okay. I said, but Medicare and everything else has me disability, has me under my current name. And they said, well, that's federal too. And I said, okay, well, Medicaid and Ohio Department of, Ohio Department of Human Resources has me under this name. My electric company has me in. None of those prove that you got that name legally, though. So anyhow, I said, what am I supposed to do? They said, well, you can, you have to write to the state where you got married at and request a copy of your marriage license that has your maiden name on it. And I said, well, it's hyphen. I said, here's my divorce papers from that marriage, and this is how my name was with that. And they said that they did have that name in their system. And I said, well, I still have that social security card. Can't I just bring you that? And they said, no, you have to write to your the state you got married in and have them mail you a certified copy of your marriage license. And I said, with my tags expire in 4 days, and can you at least give me an extension on my temporary tag, or give me another temporary tag to get this done, because it's going to take a while to get that, if I have to wait for them to mail it to me. And he said, no, we can't do that because the names wouldn't match. Because the car's under my married name. The title's under my married name. They have me under my maiden name. But anyhow, so yeah, so that's why I left early, because I called Virginia and it would have been 6 to 8 weeks for them to get the certificate to me. And I called them while I was still at the Ohio DMV. So I got off the phone with them and I went back up to the counter and I told the dude, I said, look, it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks for them to mail it to me. And they said, okay. I said, so you're literally going to force me to drive this car illegally until then? And he said, you don't have to drive the car. And I said, why else do people buy a car if not to drive it? And I said, but even if I don't drive it, right, I have to have the certificate mailed to me. And he goes, yeah. And I said, but then I have to drive here to bring it to you. Here's your sign, right? And, so anyhow, I leave there and I call Arizona, where I have my driver's license and they have all my information. I'm still technically a resident of the state of Arizona. So I call Arizona, and Arizona said that, forget all that. If you can come, she said, if we mail it to you, you have to do all this. Like, you have to forfeit the original title. Um, you have to mail us the original title and forfeit it, and we have to register that car or title that as an Arizona vehicle. And I said, okay, how long would that take? And they said, normally, 2 to 4 weeks, but because we're so backed up, we're about, 2 weeks behind, so it could take 6 to 8 weeks. And I was like, shit, so what do I do? And she was looking at the computer screen, and she goes, do you still have your license plate from your Trailblazer? And I said, yeah, I do, actually. And she said, well, I'm showing that doesn't expire until 2026. And I said, that's correct. And she said, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer that plate over and attach it to your driver's license and put it in as a transport vehicle, and until you get here. And I'm going to attach a 2-week travel permit to your van using that license plate. So essentially it meant that I got 2 weeks to get to Arizona. I was like, badass. So of course that altered my plans of not leaving until September to having to hurry up and get on the road, because I talked to her on Friday and I left on Tuesday, right? So that's how quick it all happened. I had to load the trailer, I had to pack the van, I had to panic until at the very last minute, I was able to bring Salem with me. I had room for all of his stuff. But like, I had to pack his litter box, his food, his everything, right? So, anyhow, I'm on my way to Arizona, and I figured, I'm gonna stop and make this little trip since I have 2 weeks to get there. I'm gonna use that whole damn 2 weeks. But it's gonna reverse my plans, though, so all the people that I was planning on seeing on the way out to Arizona in September, because I was, like, the whole reason for the Ohio DMV was that, real quick, was that, I bought the car in April, the tags expired in 45 days, I wasn't leaving until September, so I was going to register the vehicle in the state of Ohio, and then just re-register it when I got it to Arizona, right? Alright, so, that didn't happen. So now I'm on the road, and I'm still making the stops that I originally planned on making, but I'm just doing them in the opposite direction. So I'm kind of making a beeline to Arizona, stopping at the places that are along that route, and then on my way back, like, I was planning on going and seeing Lisa first, and then going on and seeing a couple other people, on my way, and then stopping in Texas for a week and seeing my mom, spending time with my mom, and then, going on to Arizona and transferring the title, and all that kind of stuff then. But, now that I have to do it this way, I'm going to Arizona first, get this taken care of, then I'll go to Texas and see my mom, stop at a couple campgrounds along the way, like the one in New Mexico I absolutely love, that I was at on my way back. So I want to go back there for a couple weeks, or at least a week. I want to spend at least a week in each place. But not now, not on the way there. Like, my original plan was to spend, like, at least a week in each place going, and then only, like, spending a couple nights at each place, or a few nights at each place on the way back. But I'm doing it in reverse, right? So now I'm spending a few nights at each place on the way out, and then when I'm coming back, I'll take my time and do at least a week in each place on my way back. So this gives me kind of like a trial run, like how long it takes me to set everything up. Um, Hoping I don't have to do the trailer again next time I drive or stop after driving. But I won't be surprised since I'm like going to be coming out of the mountain and everything's going to be shifting a lot. But I repacked everything, I reloaded everything, I reorganized everything, so we should be good to go. Um, so I'm going to stay here through Memorial Day weekend, and just chill. And, I'm testing everything out before I like go on that long ass cross country trip. Because right now I'm close enough that I could turn around and go back home if I needed to, and just say screw it and sell the van and sell everything and whatever. Find a better apartment than what I'm living in, right? Um. So yeah, so this was a huge test, and so far everything's fine. The kids are great. Bella's chilling right here. And Salem's up there in the driver's seat, or at least he was. He might be on the floor now. But yeah, so the van is coming together nicely. I still, I don't have everything unpacked or set up because, like I said, I'm only going to be here a few days. But I wanted to set everything up as much as I would need so that I'm just kind of scanning the camera. I don't have the curtain on the back window yet. My curtain's attached with industrial strength Velcro. So I just take them down every day and then put them back up at night. But yeah, so it's coming together. That's the sink right there I built. But I'll give you guys a tour when I stop for a longer period of time, and I really have everything set up because now I have like my rucksack sitting on the floor. I have a couple other things sitting on the floor. I don't have my screened-in porch set up, which is where like a lot of the stuff that's on the floor was going to go. So there's still like quite a bit that I could do, but there's nothing more that I'm going to do. When you're out on the road, you have to alter your plans as the situation calls for. And you have to be like quick on your feet and have situational awareness and be adaptable and able to just manage regardless of your situation. I was planning on cooking steaks on the grill for dinner tonight, or on the fire pit rather, but it rained all day, so I couldn't have a fire. So instead I just made like a thing of noodles, which I'll probably do a lot because I'm cooking, but I did make bacon and eggs for breakfast though, so that was cool. But yeah, so I guess I better go. I've been on here almost 20 minutes, but I just wanted to like let you guys know what was up and why I left all of a sudden like I did, and why I haven't contacted Lisa or anybody to say, hey, I'll be there in a couple days or whatever. So that's why. Ohio is like so crazy. So I'm going out to Arizona. I'm titling my vehicle out there. I'm going to get a 5-year registration on it out there. And because by that time I probably won't, I'll have my fill of adventure again and I won't need to feel the urge to get up and drive and go nowhere no more. I don't know. But, in 5 years I'll be 61 and who knows what I'll want to do when I'm 61. I might be ready to go sit in a rocking chair somewhere, right? And hang up my hiking boots. But, that's why I wanted to, like, give this a really good one more, adventure, register my car, title my car for 5 years, come back to Ohio, and, whatever, get ready for my retirement years, I guess. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go to sleep, man. It's been a long, long day, and I've been on here for a long, long time. But now you're all caught up, you know the scoop. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, and if you're not following me yet, my adventure's just getting started, so follow me along. Night night.